We decided to get out of town this Christmas break and spend 2 weeks in Italy. After a few days skiing and then a stop in Venice, our road leads to Rome. 2025 is a jubilee year here in Rome when the Vatican invites Catholics from all over the world to make a pilgrimage to Rome. So while everything will be crowded, the whole city has a fresh coat of paint and is ready for visitors. We arrived in Rome on Saturday night and didn't do much besides go to bed. Sunday morning, I woke up early to see the relatively quiet Trevi Fountain and get some croissants. Once everyone woke up, we caught the metro down to the Colosseum for a tour of ancient Rome. We used the Rome Guy tours and enjoyed our guide Paula's acerbic sense of humor as she led us through the ruins. It was amazing to be able to go on the Colosseum floor, and the nearly 2,000-year-old building is jaw-dropping. It's poignant to see not only how much has been removed from the structure, but also how much remains. From the Colosseum, our group crossed the street to the Palatine Hill and walked through what had been the Palace of the Caesars. We also got a great view of Circus Maximus from the hill. And our tour finished with a walk through the Roman Forum to see the public square of ancient Rome. After all that history, we were hungry. So we exited the Forum and walked to nearby Alle Carrette for a delicious pizza lunch. Since we were nearby, we stopped at the Victor Emmanuel Monument and took the elevator to the top to soak in the view. Then it was time to get off our feet. We headed back to the hotel for an afternoon nap. We rallied after the nap and strolled through the Christmas lights to get some gelato and to see the frighteningly crowded Trevi Fountain, the Roman Forum, and the Spanish Steps. The streets of Rome were lit beautifully and were packed with revelers. We grabbed dinner at a quiet osteria nearby, then called it a night. On Monday, we all woke up early to catch a train south to Napoli, and then another train on to Pompeii. Our train from Napoli to Pompeii was packed in like a tin of sardines. Luckily, Nika used her middle school crowd skill to snag us seats on the train. When we got to Pompeii, we met our guide Francesca from Ascos Tours and made our way in. The entrance to the city sets the tone for your visit. You enter from the port, up a big hill, through the Marine Gate. I was expecting Pompeii to be something of an archaeological site, where you'd have to use your imagination to understand what had been where, like yesterday in ancient Rome. But Pompeii is completely different. With very little in the way of restorations, Pompeii is like stepping into the heart of a thriving, active Roman town. It feels more like a living recreation than actual ruins. Of course, many parts are gone, but it's amazing what remains after 2,000 years. Frescoes and building and drainage and even graffiti. Also fascinating are the casts that archaeologists made when they found hollow spots while digging out ash. Some are people. Casts were also made of animals and other organic material too. We finished the tour in the theater, which has had some extra renovations done so that it can host plays. Nonetheless, there are still seats with Roman numerals indicating the seat number. It was another cramped ride back to Napoli. We had just enough time to grab a few delicious Neapolitan pizzas before catching the train back to Rome and bed. On Tuesday morning, we woke up early again and got to the Vatican a little before 8. Even by that point, the line to get into St. Peter's Square stretched a few blocks back into Rome. Once through the security line, it was easy to make our way into the ticket office to pick up tickets to climb up to the top of Michelangelo's dome, atop St. Peter's Cathedral. It was a hazy morning, but the views were astounding from the top. We made our way back down to the cathedral floor and wandered around in awe of the soaring cathedral architecture. But we couldn't wait too long. After crossing St. Peter's Square, we had to hustle north to the Vatican Museum to catch our tour. The Vatican Museum is overwhelming, so it's nice to have a guide to take you through the highlights. We used the official Vatican guides to take us through. We went in mid-morning to avoid the morning rush and were pleasantly surprised with how uncrowded it felt. We weren't alone, but nor were we crowded. The building is more a maze than I remember, but it is fascinating to see what pieces are highlighted and become the focus. I really enjoyed the animal room, and of course the Raphael rooms and the Sistine Chapel. The museum is a beautiful building with so much treasure, but there's a limit to the art that one can consume in a day, so we headed back to the hotel for a nap and an affogato. It was New Year's Eve, but after 3 crowded, action-packed days, we didn't need to join the party, so we headed to bed after a lovely dinner at That's Amore. And now we've arrived at our last morning in Rome. I took another early morning walk today, and soon we'll be catching a train to Florence. Rome is exhausting. It's a big, chaotic, wonderful city with more to see than we could possibly fit into just 3 days. I'm delighted that we took a day trip to Pompeii, and that may remain one of my favorite memories of this trip. The crowds were intense in Rome, more inescapable than in other cities we've visited thus far. I am glad that we had reservations for everything we saw, because the lines looked crazy for most attractions. I can only imagine how packed Rome will be when the Jubilee overlaps the main tourist season. But for us, a quick visit to the Eternal City was a nice taste, and now it's time to move on. Ciao for now, Roma.